White Sox spring training on NBC Sports Chicago is brought to you by Hyundai. The lovely blue sky of Camelback Ranch. Cacti for you just to warm up your Thursday. We are 1 week away from opening day of the Major League Baseball season. That'll be the Sox and Astros. This is the Sox and the Giants. The Sox first opponent at home this year will be these very San Francisco Giants. We are Jason Benetti and Steve Stone. Chuck Garfien is downstairs. We'll talk to him in a moment. How do you feel? We're a week away.
I'm really excited because it's the end of spring training. I know the players are all ready to go. The guys who went to the World Baseball Classic are back, which is a good thing. We won't see Anderson today, but we will see Michael Kopech. He's going to the mound, hopefully to sharpen things up. We've heard a lot about that changeup. We haven't seen a lot of it. Maybe we'll see it today.
Ethan Katz said about 4 innings today, maybe, for Michael Kopech. We'll see how far he goes. He is ready to throw one final time here at Camelback Ranch in front of us on NBC Sports Chicago. You said it?
Like the Frenchman Lindbergh landed.
You'll get history along with baseball history. And we might be history next. Concluded here at Camelback Ranch. We told you we would talk to Chuck Garfien, and we are men of our word. Chuck, how are you?
I'm doing great. So the World Baseball Classic is in the books. What a great tournament it was. But now that it is completed, the White Sox have, as Eloy Jimenez says hello to everybody, the White Sox now have their entire roster intact. They're all here at Camelback Ranch. Yoan Moncada and Tim Anderson are not in the lineup today, but Tim is going to join me during the bottom of the third inning to talk about that experience. Luis Robert Jr. is in the lineup here today, and he described the WBC experience as very special. He said the intensity and the urgency helped him prepare for this season playing for Team Cuba. His focus now, though, is on the White Sox. He wants a great season, and he wants a healthy season, so hopefully that is coming for Luis Robert here in 2023. Back up to you guys.
Chuck, thank you. So much going on there. Eloy waving hello. Dylan Cease walking by. You had your own security guard over your right shoulder. But that World Baseball Classic, to me, I don't know how you feel about this. I just thought it was great for baseball.
I thought it was really exciting. And, you know, we have what we call a World Series here, and that's also very exciting if you're one of the 2 teams in it. But this is a chance for the world to get together and compete. You're representing your country. It's a different feeling than representing your team. And I think to a man, those guys who experienced the whole Classic this year will never forget what they went through and just how much fun it is. And I agree how much tension it is. I mean, how difficult it is because you're playing for something that's a whole lot bigger than yourself.
I ran into Yoan Moncada back on the fields behind the complex earlier today, and he was just beaming, talking about his experience playing for his nation, for Team Cuba. And Yoan had a tremendous tournament.
Yeah, I mean, he hit the ball very well, and he looked to me like he played the steady third base, which he always does, but he was swinging the bat well, and that bodes well for this year because there is no doubt being a switch hitter, and the Sox really need him, especially from the left side. If he has a big year, this team is going to score a lot of runs, and he's poised to do it.
So much going on in this telecast today. You heard Chuck mention that Tim Anderson will join him in the bottom of the third. Christine O'Reilly is going to talk White Sox charities, who we love, in the top of the third. Pedro Grifol will join Chuck from the dugout in the second inning as well. Do you have any guests that you've brought along that you'd care to do in the fourth or fifth?
No, but it appears that this is shaping up as a cast of thousands to put this broadcast on today.
A cast of thousands that's going to open at 109 or 110. I feel like we're at Coors Field. Remember last year we did that game at the Rockies and their starter was like 8 minutes late?
Well, that can happen on occasion. Yeah.
Can it?
I think that they're a touch late here, but eventually we anticipate having baseball.
Isn't it crazy that we are talking about this being our final spring training telecast? We are a week away from the opener in Houston.
I think to a man right now, these players are ready for the season to start. They've got a few more games left down here, but with Michael Kopech on the mound and the team reassembled after the World Baseball Classic, I think they're going to get a pretty good idea what this team is going to look like heading into the championship season.
Michael Kopech on the hill. He is going to face this starting lineup for the San Francisco Giants. 81 up, 81 down last year. You may not recognize a bunch of these names, although Blake Sabol is trying to make the team as a catcher, a 7th-round pick in 2019. Brandon Crawford back from a knee issue. He is in the lineup hitting third, his 2nd straight start, and that is Mike Aldretti's nephew in the 9 spot, Carter Aldretti.
The Giants didn't bring most of their regulars to this one because they play tonight. They have a split squad game and they play in Scottsdale. Michael Kopech last season went to the mound for 25 starts. His record wasn't as he liked it. The ERA is pretty good at 3.5. So you can see a lot of strikeouts. He probably walked more guys than he would like, and we'll see if he does break out the changeup a time or two today. We know he's got the big fastball. His slider got better last year, and the change will determine what kind of a year he's going to have. This is how Pedro Grifol is going to line him up today behind Michael Kopech. It's Andrew Luis and Eloy in right field this afternoon. Hanser Alberto having just a wonderful spring. Leary, Elvis, and Jake Berger at first base. Yasmani Grandal has got the plate. And we told you about Michael Kopech. So, although it's not the entire starting lineup, it's a good part of it. And the weather today is absolutely gorgeous. 66 degrees and sunny. It's been an unusually cool spring here in the desert. But nonetheless, the people who are going to be here throughout the summer appreciate the fact that maybe it'll just be a little cooler as they head into July and August.
We are hopeful that the weather is going to improve in Chicago as the days go on, and we are hopeful that you will join us for opening day against these very San Francisco Giants. This is an advanced scouting trip for all of us and all of you.
Well, I do believe that's going to be 70 and sunny on opening day in Chicago.
You do?
If not, it'll be something else. And sunny or cloudy.
Do I see you on WhiteSox.com ordering your tickets right now?
I am. Plenty of tickets.
Michael Kopech, we are underway. Bryce Johnson is the center fielder. He's a switch hitter. And he is first up for the Giants. And Gabe Kapler today with that split squad later on tonight. The plate umpire is Dan Merzel, by the way.
You don't want to walk this guy. Johnson's a burner. He's got 12 stolen bases this spring. And as you see last year, he swung the bat pretty well in AAA.
He has to get out of the way there. We will get into this later on in the telecast, but that type of pitch is going to create a little bit of a difference than what we've seen in the pitch clock for the first month or so of spring training as Kopech misses with ball 4. On brushback pitches specifically, or swings that batters take that are broad swings that take them to the ground, the umpire, based on some clarifications from Major League Baseball, the umpire has the discretion to waive off the pitch clock or start it later on situations like that.
And I think that's a good thing because you don't want to penalize these guys depending on what they're doing. So give them a little extra time. It's not that much different, and it's still about a half hour shorter.
And you said that they now we have a pitch clock violation. I believe it is 1-0. That's a violation, and it's 1-0. Call made by Dan Merzel. Wonder about the psychology of it. Of, hey, you just threw 4 straight pitches out of the zone. Now you got an intentional ball. What does that do to a pitcher's mindset?
Well, it convinces him at 2-0 that he better get the ball over the plate sometime soon, because this is not the Michael Kopech we want to see. We want to see a guy throwing strikes and being aggressive.
2-0 on Schmidt, and there's a breaking ball now. 3-0 on Casey Schmidt. Talking to Ethan Katz earlier about Michael Kopech and the pitch mix. The changeup he's thrown sparingly so far this spring training, but he does like that the curveball's been involved as well as that fastball misses. And so 8 in a row to Giants batters. And here are some of the clarifications that just came across from Major League Baseball. This is a portion of them. They're the brushbacks. The pitch timer can be delayed for pitchers, so they don't have to run back from covering first base. And then some additional time for catchers. And the last one is really interesting. The bat boys and girls are going to be evaluated this year for speed. Have you put in your application yet?
No, but I think it's a wonderful idea because everybody else is being held accountable. So let's hold accountable those youngsters who don't get the bats quite as quickly as they should get them. And they will not tarry heading back to the dugout.
They won't tarry?
No.
Francona?
They won't do that either.
You know, it's amazing to me that you never became a teacher with all that empathy that you displayed for the little ones retrieving bats.
Well, don't forget, in Las Vegas, where they have the bat dogs,
Yeah.
they're even telling them how to hustle it up.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
It's part of the training
That's
now?
right. No snacks for you.
Are you on that committee? I feel like with your love of dogs, you're on the AAA committee to evaluate bat dogs. Check swing. He went. No, he didn't. Come on. Didn't you think I had it right?
I thought he did go.
Thank you for being on my side.
But I always think they go.
Yeah, well, let's watch it again.
We'll watch
shall
it
we?
again. Oh, absolutely. That bat was way in front of home plate.
Right?
Yeah.
2-2 gets away, and the runners advance. So Johnson to third, Schmidt to second base.
So an ominous beginning for Michael Kopech. He's trying to pitch his way out of this. The infield is going to be back, or as far back as they can be at this point.
At shortstop, Leury Garcia for a moment had his feet on the grass. Now he's onto the dirt. And this is sky high on the first base side of the plate, but barely. And the catch made by Yasmani Grandal for out number one.
The catcher batting fourth, number 2, Blake Sabol.
Yes did it very well, meaning he kept his mask in his hand until he located the ball. He plotted the course of the baseball, then threw his mask away so that you don't trip over it, or either does anybody else.
So well done for out number one. And here is Blake Sabol. Left-hander, 3 straight lefties in the lineup here in this pocket for Gabe Kapler. Strike one. His second cousin, Sabol, is former NFL safety Troy Polamalu.
Good hair.
Tremendous hair.
Yes.
Stone-like hair. Infield in, ball and a strike. Blake Sabol's mother actually babysat for Troy Polamalu. Can you imagine how rambunctious he might have been?
Yeah, probably went around just tackling everything in the living room and dining room.
1-1. Check swing. He did go, says Merzel, the plate umpire. 1-2.
That was the best breaking ball he's thrown this inning. That looked like a fastball out of his hand, and Sabol couldn't read it. He couldn't pick up the spin, and by the time he did, that ball just disappeared down and in. This would be a huge strikeout if Michael can throw the ball by him.
On 1-2. It's upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Johnson at third, Schmidt at second. And the 2-2. Swung through, strike 3. Another breaking ball, sharply down and in, 2 gone.
1 out away from getting out of this, and some pretty good pitching by Michael after the 2 walks at the top. Another sharp breaking ball down and in. That appears to be the curveball, because that one just broke 12-6 straight down, and Sabol just could not pick it up.
Here's Wisely, who grounds the ball to second base on the first pitch, and Michael Kopech makes his way out of 2 straight walks to open the game.
Nice job of getting out of that inning without any runs scored, and Michael comes off a very happy man.
Season number 1 as a skipper of the White Sox and in Major League Baseball as a manager for Pedro Nicole. And here is the lineup that he has written out today. Elvis Andrus at the top, Luis Robert Jr., then Andrew Benintendi. Eloy is in there in right field. Hanser Alberto, Jake Berger, Yasmani Grandal, Zavala Garcia, your starting 9. A lot of talk about the last couple roster spots on the bench offensively, and Elvis Andrus playing second base kind of changes that calculus. As here's who they'll face.
Sean Manaea, a big left-hander. Last year, 28 starts. He couldn't keep the ball in the ballpark. That was his biggest problem. Gave up 29 home runs last year. However, San Francisco, probably the best pitcher's park in all of baseball, and those are the numbers. Came up with Oakland. We remember him there, and he's found a home in the Bay Area.
I like the side arsenal. You can watch him throw one of those pitches while you look at the pitch types. 1-2 is high with a fastball, but talking about Elvis, the fact that he can be sort of your backup shortstop can help you manage the bench. And Pedro mentioned the other day how much he wants guys on the bench with specific values, specific roles, things that they do very well, whether it's speed or hitting left-handed pitchers or whatever it might be. He's looking for guys that specialize on the bench.
Well, we saw Brandon Guyer for years just wait around until a left-hander came in, then they would put him in and usually come through. So those guys are pretty valuable.
Then they cloned him and named him Jordan Luplow.
That's exactly right.
Wisely to first, and one down here in the first inning.
We'll take a look at the defense that had better improved because this is a ground ball pitching staff. It's Arbach, Johnson, and Matos in the outfield left to right with Schmidt, Wilson, Wisely, and Aldrete. Blake Sable's got the plate, and we told you about Sean Manaea. Not really a hard thrower much anymore. Still good velocity on the fastball.
He spent the offseason trying to add a little velocity to get it back.
Just a tough year for him last year, but pitching a full season in San Francisco rejuvenates a lot of pitchers' careers.
On the backhand side, and Schmidt for out number 2. Yeah, when we were there, that was my first trip to that ballpark. When we were there in July, I want to say. And the ball just dies in certain places in that ballpark.
No, it's a great place to pitch. There's no doubt about that. Always has been. And you see a lot of guys who've had success other places, then fallen on hard times, only to come to San Francisco and resurrect their careers. And in some cases, they move on to pretty big contracts from that ballpark, i.e. Carlos Rodon.
Wish Carlos the best in New York, dealing obviously with the injury to start the year this season. We have not gotten a lot of looks yet on our telecast, just by happenstance of timing it, Andrew Benintendi so far this spring.
Well, at this point, the spring is just fair for him. However, like all veterans, and he is one of those, you don't worry too much about the spring, whether it's red hot or not.
2-0 lifted to left. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Sean Manaea. The Sox skipper will join Chuck Garfien when we come back. Pedro Grifol downstairs chatting with Chuck after this.
All right, Chuck Garfien back here at Camelback Ranch with the manager of the Chicago White Sox, Pedro Grifol, and I appreciate Billy Hamilton coming over to remind you once again, you're managing a baseball game. You're not thinking about doing an interview with me, but thank you for doing it. And just want to get your thoughts, because you said something before the game about how this was a big day for you guys before the game. Can you explain?
Well, it's just the first time that we get everybody together, and I think that finally, after a good WBC, we get a chance to come together as a team, and it was our first day with team defense and fundamentals in a long time, and it was one of only 2 more days that we have available for that, because we're playing on the road the next 3 out of the next 5. So it was an important day, and it was well executed. I was really happy with the work they put in today.
All right, so the season starts a week from today. What kind of team are White Sox fans going to see this year, you think?
You know what, everybody knows this is a talented team, but beyond the talent, I think that these guys are really going to go out there and play the game hard, prepare the right way, and play with some energy. I mean, that's what camp's been about. That's what our language, our motivation, our communication has been about, and not just now in the spring. Our communication in during the off season as well. So if today was any indication of what kind of team we're going to be, this club's going to play really hard.
What are you seeing from Kopech so far? He battled back after a rough start to the first inning.
You know what? I just like the fact that I like our pitchers to be in a little bit of stress here in spring training. I don't like them to, to breeze through an outing, and just the fact that he was, he gave up those 2 walks and was able to get out of it and make some good pitches, when he had to, was really good for me to see. And also, the fact of him controlling the running game, which this is a team that's been running wild here in spring training, and, he's done a pretty good job of it. He did a pretty good job of it the first inning. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, he said after his last outing, he might have been rushing things a little bit because of the pitch clock. So I'm wondering if he came on the mound here today. I don't want to rush, and he was called for that violation early on.
Probably. This is a feel. It's the feel thing, and these guys pitch once every 5 days, so they can't practice this thing, every single day. I mean, we do have pitch clocks down there, but it's not the same. It's not the same as the game. So, but he's got a better pace to the game. I think that violation was more of him shaking and trying to get the right pitch that he wanted to throw, not so much him taking his time, but he's doing a good job of it now, controlling the pace of the game.
So you have Oscar Colas on the bench. I bring this up because I think it was the last game you guys faced a lefty. He was on the bench, and you told him, hey, if a righty comes into the bullpen, you might be calling his name, and he basically bugged you the whole game for you to put him in the game. Could this maybe happen again here today?
He's available for pinch hitting. We have a few guys here that have been a part of this club that are available for pinch hitting, and that's something I like to practice too. But he's already down there, just eyeballing me that he wants to get in this game. So
what does that say about him? And by the way, he told me afterwards, he didn't just say he wanted to be in the game. He told you he was going to hit a home run, and he did.
Yeah, he did. He did. He asked me 4 times, can I hit? And I said no. And I said, what are you going to do with it anyways? And he said, I'm going deep. And he did. He got a good pitch to hit and put a good swing on it.
You focus a lot on the fundamentals. One last question, because I know you want to manage the team here, but how important have fundamentals been to this team in spring training?
Well, the fundamentals are everything to me. That's our, that's the game. I mean, not giving up 90 feet, preventing 90 feet, taking 90 feet when given to you. That's just the game, and fundamentals are a huge part of that. And what I mean by fundamentals, it's not just the bump plays and all that stuff. I'm talking about the base running, throwing to the right bag, executing bunts, signs, just the little things that that you don't see in a box score that help you win or lose a baseball game. And that's been our number one priority here. I'm not concerned at all with these guys going out there and hitting and catching ground balls. They're going to do that anyways. This spring training was more geared to the fundamentals, the little things that are really important to winning baseball games.
Pedro, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
You got it. Thank you.
All right. Jason, Steve, back up to you.
Chuck, thank you, and thanks to Pedro as well. It is absolutely worth reading the story in the New York Times from a couple days ago about Pedro and how much he credits his grandfather for his fundamentals and the love for fundamentals. I mean, his grandfather basically, here's how you put your socks on during the day. Here's how you do these very small things, these intricate things that you start your morning with. And it has permeated Pedro as a coach and now as a manager.
Well, like one of the things that he said, because I've been talking about that for a long time, this game is won or lost 90 feet at a time. And what we've seen this year, this spring so far, is that the White Sox are going to be more aggressive. They're going to run more. They're going to try to take the extra base. And they're going to try to execute to stop the other team from doing the same thing.
One of the first things he mentioned was Michael Kopech and his control of the run game.
Well, I think it's something that he had to work on because he had a long, slow delivery, and now you can see he's not using the high leg kick because these Giants will run. I'd like to see him get the breaking ball over the plate with a little more regularity. It'll help his fastball out. Right now, with the inability to get the breaking ball over, and that's 2 times throwing to second base.
Okay, so now that we have the opportunity here, how often do you think teams are going to run after that second disengagement?
Well, I do believe they're going to get a little bit extra on the lead, maybe a one more step on the lead. Because if you don't get them and you go back there again, everybody moves up.
Yeah, we'll see at second base here. Wilson takes a little bit of an extra step. You know, you could go much further than he is right now off that second disengagement, although they can throw again. They just have to get you out is the rule. Yes.
Third time, they're going to do it. And if other teams see that they do it, he doesn't care. They're going to go over and throw no matter what the consequences are, because they don't want other teams to just feel, oh, they won't throw over a third time. They'll do it.
Just to put it on tape, basically, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There's ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Johnson. It's interesting. I was talking about that with somebody on the field earlier today, actually, Chuck, that if you put it on tape a little bit, maybe, just maybe, it dissuades people.
Well, I think a lot of things they're doing this year is carry forward into the season. They're throwing an inordinate amount of pickoff plays at second base especially. And knowing that they're going to do that, that goes into everybody's scouting report. And it might just shorten up some leads. You never really know. A guy gets thrown out the plate by a half step. You don't really know if it was a shortened lead that got him thrown out, but it can't hurt, certainly. And now a meeting at the mound. Ethan Katz out there talking with Michael Kopech, who has not had good stuff early. He doesn't have a whole lot of location with any of his pitches, but to this point, he has held the Giants scoreless.
And he's just one ground ball back to the mound away.
They would have to hurry up with Johnson, who's going to get down the line in a hurry.
That's why I went with the mound, because the middle infield, I don't know that you're going to get 2 necessarily.
Probably not. You could take a 1-2-3 double play right here. There are worse things than that.
Do you by chance know how many 1-2-3 double plays you turned in your career?
Oh, multitudes.
Okay. I wonder if Chris Kamka can find that on StatHead, on Baseball Reference.
If it can be found, Chris Kamka is the man to find it.
Oh, he's like the Lewis and Clark of baseball stats.
Which one, Lewis or Clark?
He's both. That's how good he is. 1-1 for Johnson here. Kopech ready with 10 on the pitch clock. And he starts his move. That's a swing, 1-2. How about Pedro saying he likes to see some stress on his pitchers in spring training?
I can understand that. I mean, you want to get them the full experience, and if you're going 1-2-3, 1-2-3, I mean, that's good. However, you want to practice situations. Hitters certainly do it, and there's no reason pitchers shouldn't.
1-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 gone.
That was the changeup, it appeared to me. We'll take another look at it. I think that's his change, and if it is, number one, it was in a good spot. Number two, you couldn't really pick it up from his delivery. So the same release point, the same arm velocity, and the ball just doesn't get there, produced a strikeout.
A little bit of a turbo changeup there,
no,
too.
It went straight down, which is a real good sign, and pitchers just have to beware. Continue the same arm angle as you have with your fastball, and hitters won't be able to read it.
On 1 strike, a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. San Diego native Casey Schmidt, a tremendous defensive player. He was a Gold Glover in the minors last year.
Looks like he had some pop also.
I think he actually sticks to water and juice mostly.
We'll take a look at this. Nice stop. Rondal moved to his right and squared up the baseball so that when it did trickle away, it went straight.
Hey, there's a comebacker for you. 1-3. Skip the 2.
It's out of the inning, right?
It is.
Dessert, Jason always does, or treat yourself just because. This local bakery is becoming well known for whipping up delicious pies from scratch. From key lime to fruit pies and more, catch The Food Guy tonight at 10 on NBC Chicago. You're the food guy.
I mean, I can be. If a guest spot was available, I'd be happy to do it. Do you have a favorite pie?
I do.
What is it?
Oh, I thought you were never going to ask.
Sorry about the yes/no question.
I happen to like Dutch apple with crumbles on top, heated slightly, or pecan pie. I go into sugar shock, but I really enjoy that pie.
That was a very specific answer.
Oh, yeah. I'm nothing if not specific.
1-1 from Minaya, grounded through the right side, base hit for Eloy Jimenez, the first Sox base runner.
That breaks up the no-hitter, by the way.
It does. Yeah. Sean Minaya was really cutting today.
You get a chance to win the spring Cy Young Award.
How many of those did you win?
I was horrible in the spring. You see the defense, and through the right side, Eloy continues with a big spring. A few guys in this lineup hitting it well.
Here's
Alberto's having a really good spring.
Everybody clap your hands.
The 9 for 19 this spring. Answer Alberto.
Dan Merzel says, nope, this timeout is on me. It's on me.
It's on the house. There was a story in The Athletic by Andrew Baggerly, the beat writer for the Giants, about Sean Manaea, who stands at 6'5". I mean, he's a tall guy. And he said that everywhere he's gone in baseball, he's been known as Big Sean, which is very fitting. But the Giants have a prospect named Sean Jelly, who we've seen, who is 6'11". So now Sean Manaea is just Sean.
Just plain Sean.
Yeah, the other guy's Big Sean. He's
really
Sean.
big Sean.
Yeah, that's right.
He doesn't have that kind of hair, though, I don't think.
He doesn't. You can tell them apart. This into center field for Johnson to make the catch, and 1 down. Your 2023 Chicago White Sox presented by Guaranteed Rate. With Guaranteed Rate's same-day mortgage, you'll be ready to move into your dream home in as little as 1 business day. Visit rate.com to get started today. This detail from Andrew's story about the Seans, Jelly and Manaea. This is from the story about Jelly. He achieved his major league debut. He celebrated his first big league win too, proving that it's possible to fit a 6'11" pitcher in a laundry cart long enough to douse him with orange juice, ketchup, and baby powder.
It's a good combination.
So that evidently happened to Big Sean last year in the Giants clubhouse. Seems like a well-stocked kitchen they have. The food guys should check out the Giants clubhouse. To third, that's Schmidt to spin it to second, and not in time to first. Berger, the fielder's choice. What happened in the clubhouse after?
Nothing of note, actually. It was in Pittsburgh. It's against the Pirates, and the greatest part about that was my parents, who lived 2 hours down the road in Cleveland, got a chance to go to Three Rivers Stadium, where the Stargell and Clemente Pirates were my first victim.
How was that? How'd that feel?
5-hit shutout. It felt really, really good. Yeah.
Who got the hits?
Vic Davalillo got the last one. I don't remember who got the other 4.
That's called repression. No, that's a heck of a first win against that team.
Yeah, that was fun.
Outstanding.
Innings over, by the way.
Not yet. Now it is. Alonso puts it away. Christine O'Reilly to talk about White Sox charities, some of the things coming to the ballpark this year. That's after this. Be joined once again by Christine O'Reilly, the executive director of White Sox charities, and a big day because the Sox Split raffle is back. You know how much we love that.
Here we go again. We kicked it off this morning at 10 o'clock with a guaranteed jackpot for opening day of $50,000, which means automatically at least $25,000 to the winner. Last year, the jackpot got to over 150, so it was more than $75,000 to the winner. And buy a raffle ticket now, buy one every day leading up to opening day. Come on out to opening day. Tickets are available, and buy one from a seller at the ballpark. But you can get them online if you're an Illinois resident.
WhiteSox.com/SoxSplit.
I'm glad you said that, because I struggle with that. WhiteSox.com/SoxSplit.
You have to go
like
slowly through it. It's like Josh Osich.
Another thing I struggled with. You know me so well.
We were doing it too. We had to slow through.
Really slow. I do that with Hanser Alberto now. Very deliberate Alberto.
Okay.
You have the most deliberate Alberto in the land. What else is going on with White Sox Charities?
Yeah, you know, again, a big year planned, and you know, our fans are so generous. The Sox Split's a big deal. We opened it up today so it can roll until opening day. It closes in the 7th inning, but again, they can go online to buy tickets. You can buy tickets at the ballpark the day of. We've got Beyond the Diamond, our season kickoff celebration, our gala that happens on April 19th. WhiteSox.com/charities to find out information on the gala.
People are going to blame you for this because the ball just went off the wall, but it's spring training for even our guests.
It is, but when I came into the booth, Michael Kopech shut him down twice.
See, that is a great ad by you.
I am totally about glass half full.
I love that. I love that. Christine O'Reilly is here with us. The home opener is coming up. It's what, a week and a half away?
I just counted 11 days.
It's crazy.
It's amazing. Yeah, here we go.
What will we see around the ballpark having to do with White Sox Charities over the course of the year, and what's coming up soon?
You know, White Sox Charities Corner, which is located on the main concourse down the third base line, is a definite destination. Pop in, see Meg and her team. We always have special auctions, special offers, just ways that fans can join us in supporting the community through White Sox Charities. Mazda of Orland, we have another car this year, a logoed car that we're going to be offering raffle tickets. And then, of course, the Sox Split is the big one. That's every day. And, you know, this is the 25th anniversary of the Sox Split, and we've given away close to $25 million, which means $12.5 million to fans, $12.5 million to White Sox Charities. So,
wow.
I know,
that
right?
Is a huge I did not know that number.
You know, I did not know that either until Sarah Laporta told me, so kudos to her for making sure I remembered that this year.
How did the raffle start? Do you know the genesis of it?
You know, we were actually, you know, it started in Canada, which is so crazy. The Canadian raffles with hockey games are, it's insane how much money, every game across the whole country. And so there was a company that came to us and pitched us on it 25 years ago. And it's, you know, it's really become a customer behavior. You know, fans come in, they park, they come up the concourse, they get their Sox Split ticket, watch the scoreboard and after the 7th inning to see if they won. So it's just, it's pretty cool. And, you know, Wintrust sponsors it. They're so amazing and supportive of all our efforts. But the fans have just been incredible. $12.5 million to the philanthropic community thanks to fans.
What's it going to take to allow broadcasters to play?
Act of Congress.
I was going to say a change in the law.
Yeah, that's right.
I was just asking for friends.
Legislation.
Yeah, legislation is a good place to start. A lot going on around the ballpark, too, that I want to get to. But I did run into Liam Hendriks on the way into the complex this morning, and those T-shirts are still available, right?
They are. They're available online. They'll be available at the ballpark in Charities Corner. We'll also have Team Liam wristbands available for sale at Charities Corner. You know, they're amazing. The fact that he's got this cancer diagnosis and this cancer journey, and he's turning into good for others, amazing. And that's why he's our Roberto Clemente Award nominee every single year. He and his wife Christy are just, I'm astounded every time we get on the phone with them and they say, wait, we want to do more, we want to do more, we want to do more. And you know, fans can be a part of that. They can be a part of that by going online and putting in a message. They can stop and order a T-shirt online, stop in Charities Corner and buy a T-shirt. So far, we've raised over $70,000 for the Lymphoma Research Society, thanks to the sale of the T-shirts. And that's, you know, we're following their lead, which is just really amazing. It's really beautiful.
Christine, and those are available real quick, WhiteSox.com/Team Liam, just for people who would like to go and buy one of those, as this ball is crushed to left field by Auerbach. And the Giants make it Wilson with the home run. Wilson the home run, and the Giants have taken a 3-0 lead here in the third. Here's the website one more time, by the way, WhiteSox.com/Team Liam for the T-shirts.
Yeah. So again, just a cool way for our fans to support him, and so many ways for fans to continue to support White Sox Charities and really make an impact. You know, we say we try to make Chicago a better place to live, work, and play, and thanks to you guys helping us get the word out and our fans stepping up to be a part of it, we're doing that every day.
Home openers coming up. Parking lots are open. I know this isn't exactly your purview. You deal mostly with White Sox Charities, but I want to mention, too, while you're here, 3 hours in advance.
Lots open 3 hours in advance. Gates open 2 hours in advance. Come on out early, tailgate, have some fun with friends. Tickets are still available. It's always a beautiful day at the ballpark. I grew up in Chicago. I know, I've heard it about the weather, but honest to goodness, opening day, as far as I'm concerned, the weather's always perfect, and it's the place to be on April 3rd.
Well, I've run into so many people over the course of now 8 years doing White Sox games that haven't missed an opening day.
It's so crazy. It's such a beautiful tradition. And what's so crazy is, during COVID, when we couldn't have fans in the stands, those were the people that bought the cutouts so they could put themselves as a cutout in the ballpark so they didn't break their tradition.
That counts, right?
Absolutely.
Christine, thank you so much for everything. You do marvelous work, and
thanks,
we
you guys.
say farewell.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you soon, okay? WhiteSox.com/SoxSplit for the raffle. WhiteSox.com/Team Liam for the T-shirts. And Tim Anderson and Chuck Garfien when we come back.
All right, Chuck Garfien back here at Camelback Ranch, and I'm joined by Tim Anderson, who's walking over here. Hey, Tim, so just watching the World Baseball Classic on TV was something else. What was it like to play in it? That looked like it was the most amazing experience.
Definitely cool. The energy, the atmosphere was crazy.
Hold on a second. We got a home run by Seby Zavala. Jason, you want to take this for a sec?
It's gone.
Okay, it's gone. That's Jason Benetti's call. It's gone. More on the World Baseball Classic.
Definitely cool. I think that's the way that baseball is supposed to be played. I think the game against Venezuela was one of the loudest games, and the game against Mexico was pretty cool. So yeah, definitely dope to be a part of it, and be right in the mix with some of the greats.
You were playing playoff intensity games in March. What was that like? Was it tough to get accustomed to that?
It was fun. I mean, when you go out and you see the seats packed out, from top to bottom, and you're gonna find a way to do something cool, go out and be ready to play. So I think the fans brought a lot of energy, so that made it a lot easier for guys to be ready to play.
All right, so what was going on? I think you were on third base. Trey Turner hits the grand slam. Take us to that moment.
Just watching it. I had the best seat in the house. Watching it come off the bat and just seeing how electric he was, and the energy towards the dugout. As you can see, everybody was out out of the dugout, and it put us up too. So yeah, that game was definitely blow for blow, and when he did that was definitely dope, man. Put us right on top.
All right, so we know what kind of player you are in Chicago, but when you hear someone like Mike Trout say that you're a star, what did that mean to you?
I mean a lot. He just really confirmed it for a lot of people that was wondering, and it means a lot coming from a guy like that. I mean, he's been watching. He watched when we played against him. So such an honor. Such an honor. I'm blessed and thankful to be able to have some kind words from a guy like Trout, for sure.
All right, so you are the shortstop for the White Sox. You played second base. Were you surprised? Actually, how did it come about? Did Mark DeRosa, the manager, come to you and say, hey, I want you to play second base?
Yeah, he asked me early on, and I was way before the Classic started, and I was like, nah, I want to play short. But as it went on, I see the fans and I see how the energy is, and he asked me, I'm like, I'm open, because I want to play. I don't really care where I played at. I just wanted to be in the lineup, get my bat in the lineup, and it was opportunity came, and I made the most of it. Sure.
Yeah, you did. All right, Jason's got a question. Jason, what's your question for Tim?
Yeah, what was with the first throw he made at second base?
His question, that's funny. What was with the first throw that you made at second base to first?
Yeah, I almost tripped. I didn't know I had to pick my feet up over there. I usually could slide at short, but I didn't know. I had to pick my feet up over a second. So that was something I had to adjust to. But as I got my feet wet and kind of get more ground balls, I didn't trip anymore.
You actually made it look pretty good for someone who was tripping as he threw. Only an athlete like you could make it look about as graceful as possible.
Yeah, I know. I kind of made it. It kind of went with the flow. I played it off real well. But as long as I got the out, that's all that matters.
Did it get easier or more comfortable for you as the tournament went on?
I got more comfortable as the tournament went on, because I got out in early work and took some ground balls. And, playing in the shift, I was really over there a lot. So kind of being on that side definitely, made it a lot easier. And I got a lot more comfortable as the tournament went on.
So, this might be the end of the inning. It is. Tim, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Chuck.
All right.
Sorry, Tim. I had to bring it up. It's the first time Tim Anderson's ever looked like me playing the infield.
Jason, wave at me.
Hi, Tim. How are you? What an awesome tournament for Tim Anderson. He became a star to a lot of people during that. We'll talk food after this. Back time here at the ballpark. Andrew Blaustein finding some folks noshing, as they say.
Always a good place to use the concession stands and have a good time. It's easy for me to say.
Which stands?
Yeah, those stands. The ones that produce food.
Cacciatore stands?
Something. Anywhere you can find it.
That just happened to you.
Been a tough couple days.
Yeah, you got the old spring training head bandage on, which we just whizzed on by in the open somehow.
I know, that was...
People are like, what happened?
Wasn't a good plan, I don't think, but...
Just a minor procedure.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Take care of them when they pop up.
On the ground, first base, and through past Burkhardt. Very timely, considering we're going to talk about the new food items at Guaranteed Rate Field. So many good new items, including the elote corn dog, which to me is an outstanding looking thing. Just awesome. All right, the champagne of dogs, which is a half-pound, foot-long frank with champagne relish and habanero mustard.
I can do without the habanero, but as far as the dog itself, very nice.
Would you be in for a half-pound spicy Polish sausage on a Bavarian pretzel bun with sweet orange, caramelized onions, red slaw, and chopped bacon bits?
Yes, normally I would be right on that. However, I don't want to have heartburn till June.
What about, that's the Belgian banger. What about the Gonzo Garbanzo sandwich, which is chickpeas, red pepper hummus, avocado, arugula? Sounds like it's right up your alley.
Boy, does that sound good.
That's a basic. Wow. Can I get somebody else in here for just this one 5-minute segment we're doing?
No, I mean, I would jump on that.
What about rib tips?
Now you're talking. Now you're coming into my neighborhood.
That looks like.
Oh, that looks really good.
Awesome deal. Can
we
get those?
Look at the cornbread.
Yeah.
Those are some sort of fries, it looks like.
Well, they also have one of the new items is the hot honey chicken loaded fries with it's popcorn chicken with hot honey barbecue sauce on a bed of fries.
Oh yeah.
Would you sleep on a bed of fries if given the opportunity? I tell you what, we have some of the most inventive food in baseball.
And it's very good food. Great ballpark food. In fact, among the best in baseball, I would assume.
Oh, yeah. We've been around. We've
yeah.
tried a lot of the different concession items, or at least I've brought it to the booth, and you've said, I'm not eating this.
No, I always, even the grasshoppers you brought to the booth, I found them particularly delightful.
That is basically how it goes, though, right?
Yeah.
To be clear, that's a fair impression.
No, thank you for purchasing this, and please give it to somebody else. That's usually how that works.
One strike to Schmidt. And it's into center field. The Giants with the hit and run on, or at least something that looked like one. Johnson to third. RBI single for Schmidt, and it's 4-0. Another food item this is going to be good for your stomach.
Okay. Hit me with it.
Pedro's coming out to make a change. Pan-seared pierogies, potato and cheese pierogies, caramelized onions, charred Polish sausage, and then fresh chive sour cream.
See, it's not that easy,
fresh
is it?
Chive is not easy.
It's not that easy for you, big guy. Anyway, yes, that sounds delightful. Anything you can do with a pierogi is fine with me.
Then we're going to bring it up, and you'll try it on camera. You'll have one full one on camera.
Oh, absolutely.
Chicken head.
Sox Talk podcast. Chuck talks with the producer of Last Comiskey, a new documentary about what made the White Sox former home so special to fans. You can listen now on NBCSportsChicago.com.
For a moment, I thought Withers was going to be the guest on the podcast. You said producer as Garcia makes the catch. One down.
Catcher number 2.
When do we get Withers on the White Sox Talk podcast?
I think that's something that Chuck should look into.
There's Keenan Middleton.
He's in the ball game trying to get out of a jam. Michael Kopech did not have a good day today, although he got out of a couple of jams the first and second, gave up runs in the third and here in the fourth so far.
Sable the batter, and he takes a strike from Middleton. What would you say about what's your gross overreaction to Michael Kopech's outing? Do you have one that you'd like to share with the fans?
I just believe that it wasn't his day today, but it happens a lot at the end of spring.
Throw to second is not in time. It's a stolen base. You heard Pedro mention it. This Giants team has been stealing a lot of bags here in spring training.
Well, I think they realize, number one, they have a tough ballpark to hit home runs in, and number two, they feel that speed is one of their strong points, so they're going to run every chance they get, and they're going to need it in the National League West. There's some really good teams, and the Giants are going to have a better year, I think, this year than they had last year. So I like their starting rotation. The back end of the bullpen is really good, and all things considered, it's a great place to pitch. So if they can shore up the defense, that will help a lot of ground ball throwing pitchers that they have in the rotation.
They were one of those teams that was in on Carlos Correa earlier in the offseason, but they've added some punch with Conforto.
Well, also Aaron Judge. I mean, they went after him. They had a contract with Correa, but he didn't pass the physical.
Sky high center field. Luis Robert Jr. is underneath. He makes the catch. Here comes Johnson from third, and the Giants had one more. Join us at Guaranteed Rate Field on opening day, April 3rd. It's the Sox and the Giants at 3:10 p.m. and all fans get a 2023 magnetic schedule presented by BMO. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/promos. Two down, and here is Wisely. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as this schedule unfolds, right? The Giants are in first. Sox will be at the Pirates. So a lot of teams that you just don't see a whole lot with the new balanced schedule, as this will roll foul.
No, I think I think the fans are going to like it because they're going to get a chance to see teams in the other league every other year. They're going to be in our ballpark. We will be in their ballpark. So that part of it's good. That's what it looks like early in this one.
You're geared up for the trip to Tampa Bay and Toronto.
Always one of my faves.
There's a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Pittsburgh is always a city we like.
Pittsburgh is very nice. I like that. And I love when you sit in the broadcast booth looking out over the city. I mean, it's just a gorgeous sight.
One of the marvelous places to watch a game. As there is strike three from Middleton. The Giants do add a couple of runs, and the bottom of the fourth will come your way after this. Sox trailing by 4. Here at Camelback Ranch, great day to just get out the blanket, get out the bucket hat, and enjoy the ball game. There's a swing and a miss for strike one to Andrew Benintendi. I think we should show more food items before the day's done and just have you rate them just by sight.
It would be nice if they could send up a few.
From Chicago?
Absolutely. From anywhere.
How do you believe technology works?
Well, you see it, you ask for it, and then somebody delivers it to the booth.
How long has that been happening in your life?
They tell me you can get everything on Amazon.
Okay. Ground ball at first. Oh, that's way behind Minaya. Tough peg by Eldreddy. Now the bat gets in the way of Sable. That was just all over the place. Benintendi's safe. As a pitcher, when you're covering first base, is that where you want the ball?
No, you'd like the ball ideally around, well, letter high and out in front of you, instead of over your head and behind you. Eldreddy decides to airmail Minaya. Now, it wasn't all that bad a throw, by the way. It is going to go E3.
It wasn't that bad of a throw?
No, it wasn't a horrible throw. I mean, it was okay.
You think that's okay?
Well, yeah, as long as I'm not involved in it.
That's what I figured there was a setup. If that was you on the mound, what would you have done or said? How would you have reacted?
Well, in this situation, I would have ran to first, and then having the ball thrown kind of behind me, I would have mentioned, but look at my hair. Look how good it is.
That's where your mind would have been?
Yeah, exactly.
So Chris Kamka reports that how many 1, 2, 3 double plays did you say you were involved in your career?
None.
No. How many did you say first time?
40.
You were, that's not. Roll the tape. Chris says you participated in 13 career double plays.
Yes.
Overall.
Yeah, and I grounded into a few also.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. None were 1, 2, 3.
Amazing. I want to recount.
Oh, great. Just, I abstain.
See, for the most part, I didn't throw many ground balls.
In the air to right field. We'll get back to that in a moment. Matos is underneath. But first, this. Sox fans, join us for Miller Lite Baseball and Brews. Starting at only $19, this offer includes 1 ticket, 2 beers to new and expanded seating locations across the ballpark. Must be 21 and over with a valid ID. To purchase tickets, go to whitesox.com/brews. BREWS.
You know, there was something else that I noticed.
Ooh, what's it? Is it the sandwich that's on the screen?
Well, that's quite obviously a chimichurri sandwich. Employing steak. Anything with steak is kind of good, actually.
If people offered you money just to go to their dinner party to say the word chimichurri over and over again in your voice, would you take it?
Absolutely.
What a gig.
And bear in mind, on Tuesdays, there's a lot of $5 specials at the ballpark.
That's true. That's roped towards short and through. It's a base hit. Alberto hits the ball hard again. The Sox have 2 on. And before we go further with Steve, let's check in with Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
Hello. So Hanser Alberto.
Hi, Chuck.
You got me now? There we go.
You see,
Microphone
he listens to me.
He's ghosting us.
He's ghosting.
So you saw Hanser Alberto get a single right there. Before that hit, he was batting .438 in spring. And something that Pedro Grifol has been saying time and time again is there's no scholarships for making this team. You got to prove your worth. You got to win the job. And with a week left in spring training, Hanser Alberto is putting himself certainly right in the middle of the conversation of making this team. He plays all 4 infield positions and got that single there.
Yeah, look, he's doing everything he can to put himself on the radar and then some.
Well, if you bring a guy to spring training and say, if you have a good spring, your chances of making the ball club are good, I don't think you could have a better spring than Alberto has had this year. He's done everything right.
Chuck, you had mentioned a couple of games ago about your trip to go to Kansas City and talk to some of his former teammates. Oh, nice catch over at first. Aldrete ends up on his backside and puts away out number 2.
So about my trip to Kansas City to talk to Salvador Perez. And what Perez said about Alberto is every major league team needs a Hanser Alberto on their team, not only for what they do or what he does on the field, but also what he does off the field. When he's not playing, he's not just sitting there. He is doing everything in his power to pump up everybody on that bench, or if not just pumping them up, looking for stuff that he's seen in the game to give advice to them. He and Elvis Andrus have gone to Oscar Colas during games and said, hey, if you just swing at the first pitch, you're not learning something about that one pitcher you've never seen before. So take some pitches, especially in spring training, so you get some more knowledge about that pitcher. That's stuff that Alberto brings to a team, and if he can't help himself out, he's all about helping his teammates out.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's where you get the veteran presence, right? Especially in spring training. There's no reason not to take a pitch.
No, it makes a great deal of sense because there's a good chance you've never seen these guys before. You just as soon see their entire repertoire if you can see it. More times than that, that doesn't happen. But I think he's right. Swinging at the first pitch doesn't really help you all that much.
Especially as you build that file on guys over and over again. I mean, you say it a bunch. You have to figure out what pitchers and hitters are doing to you. Manaea misses up to Yaz, 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to look at a lot of video in this case of Minaya. If this were the regular season, you'd look at video from what he had done in games past. But you don't get a real good feel for it until you actually see the movement live. Sable's done a nice job behind the plate. I mean, he's blocking pitches well. He's receiving the ball very well. He's buying a couple of strikes for Minaya, and that was a very good block.
Kept a run off the board that time. 3-2. Foul, first base side.
I got an idea for you. We just showed PitchCom. You know, why don't we have something like that in the booth for Bobby Bertucci? We can just signal him, you know, to bring over a beef sandwich or a couple of hamburgers or something along those lines. We don't have to say anything. It's just, you know, he receives it like on his knee or something like that.
So you think Bobby would be open to the idea?
He would love it. Yeah, thank you. I'm an idea man, Chuck.
Bobby, come over here. We have this little device we want to attach to your knee. So when we need a plate of fried chicken, we can tell you immediately.
Send it up. Yes, sir.
To be very clear, that was Steve's idea, Bobby.
By the way, innings over.
Yeah, I know. Sox 10-game ticket plan gives you the ultimate flexibility. Pick games based on your schedule and your budget, and don't miss any of the action in 2023. For more information, visit whitesox.com/ticket plans or call 312-674-1000. Good to see our friend Brooks Boyer stopping by up here in the booth a couple of half innings ago.
He was. There was during the sponsors and the owners weekend, he was down here. He provided some MC work at a lovely restaurant down the road. I happened to attend. It was very good.
So you did go?
Oh yeah, are you kidding? Free food?
Well, that's...
I'd go to Paris for free food.
But we were just talking about the pierogies, and you said...
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah, I got those.
But they're free.
Yeah.
So anything you bring up that's free for Steve, he's gonna eat, is what I just heard. That's what I just heard.
Well, getting to Gregory Santos.
That was on the record.
He's in the game.
Okay. Here's Auerbach, who was a catcher and a third baseman in college at Alabama. He's playing left field today, and we've just seen that so much more in Major League Baseball, guys playing all around the diamond.
Well, I think it really helps because you have limited benches. Most teams keep 4 on the bench, and it would help them out if they were versatile. The ideal thing is to be able to mix any position with a catcher, because if you can do that, I mean, that's why Dalton Varsho is so valuable. I know, even though he was traded from the Diamondbacks, you got a guy who can play the outfield and catch both. It's pretty good.
Popped up right side of the infield, and there is out number 1. You can move anywhere on the diamond after the pitch. 3 on the right side, 3 on the left side. By the way, there's a new spot evidently that dropped today involving Tim Anderson. He's part of the ad campaign for Major League Baseball on the new rules around Major League Baseball.
Well, that's nice. We keep hearing people ask us about catchers throwing to various bases, and does that constitute one of those throws? And it doesn't. The catcher can make as many throws to first base as he wants, or throws to second, or wherever else he wants to throw it.
They just reset the pitch clock because the ball was thrown out of play, by the way. It was down to 8, and then Santos got a new baseball. Here's a ground ball to third. And that is out number 2. One clarification as well. A question that came up in a text thread a couple of days ago, and we've gotten clarification from Major League Baseball about disengagements from the mound, from the rubber, for a pitcher with nobody on. You know, if a pitcher wants to call for time, say, for a reason that's not to get rid of a baseball, they're actually not able to do that. In the understanding I've got on the rule now, you cannot disengage. The pitch clock will just keep ticking down. So there's really no timeout with nobody on.
You don't really need one.
Well, we do right now.
We got to go. The Chicago mayoral election is just over a week away. Before you head to the polls, learn about your candidates and where you can vote early right now. It's all in our voter's guide on NBCChicago.com.
That's actually check owner's guide. Oh, that's a V.
Yikes.
I don't know. I read what's on the screen. Popped up. Shortstop. Wilson makes the catch and 1 down. How excited are you for this season? Where are you?
I just love the start of every season because you get an opportunity to get off as quickly as possible. It would help if you did have a good early season because it builds up a lot of enthusiasm, confidence for the team. But after a long spring training, and this one felt like longer than most because of the World Baseball Classic, I think everybody is ready to go and ready for that bell to ring in Houston.
Well, the bell was ringing out there. The shot that Andrew just had on the berm there. There was one kid who was really having a rough go of it out there.
It's beautiful out there today.
He looked like he entered the tag team championship tournament without a tag team partner.
Well, sometimes that's good.
I would actually say never. That's good. Everything's calmed down out there now. Into right field and playable for the second baseman Wisely. You were saying about the start to the season, though.
Yeah, I think by the time you get toward the end of spring training, which is where we are now, a little less than a week away, everybody is ready for the bell to ring. And I think it's an advantage playing Houston first. I know they're very good. I know they're particularly good in their home ballpark in Houston. However, the pitchers won't be ready to go all that deeply into games at this point. And so you'd rather get them early rather than later. Most of the pitching staffs actually come together around June 1st when things are feeling pretty good, assuming you're going to be healthy, and they can go deeper into ball games, less out of their bullpen. And with Houston, getting those starting pitchers out of there is a really good plan.
Bullpen's scary for Houston, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're good. But when you get that starting rotation going, you just don't score a lot against them.
Inside 3-0 for Elvis Andrus. Sox will be in Houston Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We will have the telecast Friday, Saturday, Sunday. ESPN has the opener. They just announced Roger Clemens is going to be a guest analyst on that telecast. 3-1. Will also be in Houston during Final Four weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a crowded city. And kudos to Ed Casson for getting us into the hotel that we usually stay at, which is one of the best that we go to all season long. So that's kind of nice.
He really is the best.
Yes,
Ed
I think
Casson.
so. Very much so.
3-2. That's down and out. It's ball 4. And Elvis is on against Sean Manaea.
Not to mention that Ed and Tiffany have Fred, a very large Great Dane, wonderful dog.
Yeah, who travels every once in a while.
Comes to a few road trips. Yeah, eats a lot. Big dog.
Big dog.
Big.
Not Glenn Robinson, but
no.
There's a throw to first, as you were talking about. Catchers can really help their pitchers with the run game, I feel like, right?
Well, you can hopefully shorten up that lead at first base by maybe a step and a half. Guys like to get good secondary leads so they can score from first on a double. But if you got a catcher who is quick and accurate, you got to be careful on that secondary lead.
5 innings for Sean Manaea here, by the way.
Well, he's only had 62 pitches at this point, so all things are coming together for him. That's a minimum of pitches. He's given up the 1 run, thrown the ball very well, and for the most part, his control has been good.
He's got strike 3 right there, Robert Frozen, and the Sox are done here in the 5th. We go to the 6th, and this is file footage of what it looks like in the booth before the game. 5-1 Giants over the Sox here in the top of the 6th inning at Camelback Ranch, and a wonderful day for baseball here in the desert Southwest. He's Steve Stone. I'm Jason Benetti. Chuck Garfien is downstairs. Chris Withers, Andrew Blaustein, Chris Kamka in our Chicago studios, producing their tails off. There's a line drive to right. Andrew now directing his tail off as Aldretti makes his way to second. And he's on his way to third. Ball deep in that corner. Aldrete has a leadoff triple for the Giants in the 6th.
Center fielder number 58, Bryce Johnson.
This one sliced down the line in a perfect spot. He's looking outside, gets that away, and then the ball rattles around for a bit in the corner. That time it does. Aldrete with his eyes on third base, realizing that he's got a good shot at making it easily. And that was a good piece of base running because he picked up the third base coach before he got even close to the second base bag, and he got come on along and made it easily to third.
Alexander's ragtime band was over at third.
Oh, yeah.
Come on along.
That's it. Come this way. He can't get you. I guarantee it. If I do, well, then just go back to the dugout.
I thought you were working on making your story shorter.
Well, I was, but, you know, if you don't tell the longer stories in the spring when the season starts, you just can't, you know, you don't have the endurance.
That's true.
Yeah. Start fading around the 5th.
Tremendous advice to all you young analysts out there. Infield in, 2-1. That's called ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. It was in on Johnson, who got his first major league hit last season. Got his first chance up in the majors. Spent 3 years at Sam Houston State and got that school in Texas to its first ever super regional. And now a very dangerous base stealer on at first.
I would think he's going to be going very early in the count.
Third baseman number
We talked about the
97,
12 stolen bases so far. That's his second walk. He's been on base 3 of the 4 times and scored a run. Giants do have a game tonight in Scottsdale, so it's a split squad.
They'll be taking on our friends the Cleveland Guardians with Cal Quantrill on the hill off a stint with Team Canada for Cleveland. Anthony DeSclafani on the mound for the Giants in that one. We will not be carrying that ball game here on NBC Sports Chicago.
We will not.
There he goes from first on the ground to third base, and Alberto the throw to first.
Well, nice job by Hanser, because what he did when he picked the short hop was realize he had no play at second. Johnson was going. He was going to make it easily. He actually started before Santos delivered the ball. And then Hanser freezes Aldrete at third. Make sure he's stationary and actually going back toward the bag, which is something you want to do before you pour it over to first base. That was a good defensive play by a veteran who's been around quite a while.
I don't know about you. I've always been impressed with his baseball acumen when we've seen him.
Yeah, I think, look, if you're not going to be an everyday starter, it would help to be a smart baseball player who can play all the positions in the infield, which he can. So he certainly made the most out of this invitation to spring training.
Infield in, throw by Remillard to the dish, and that slide was short of the plate. He is out. 2 down. Aldrete thrown out by Remillard.
Catcher number 2.
Well, Pedro's got to love that, right? That's why you bring the infield in.
Right. Number one, it has to work a couple different ways. When you bring the infield in, if you're a pitcher, you have to try to throw a ground ball. If you get it, then you have to come home. And that's exactly what happened. So outstanding execution on the part of the Sox defense. And it worked out exactly as Pedro would have drawn it up. Zach Remillard heads up play on the short hop.
And that leads to the second out of the inning and a first pitch ball to Sable, his 4th trip to the plate. Yeah, Chuck mentioned when he was talking to Pedro about the way spring training has gone. Pedro mentioned this in one of his answers, that the Sox just haven't had the full complement of players very much because of the World Baseball Classic and all the advancements. So this is a big couple of days here as that goes to Berger. And we are through in the 6th. Leadoff triple, didn't score.
How about that? Good pitching by Santos, good execution by the Sox defense.
Welcome back. Hello to you in the bottom right-hand corner. Everybody waving here at Camelback Ranch. The little one's going, what is this? What are we watching? Where did you bring me?
That young fan does some of his best work not facing the field.
Manaea on his way to first. Who was the first person that was doing their best work not facing the field?
Tom Hamilton, I believe.
That's right.
Right fielder number 74,
I'm anxious to see him. He's a wonderful broadcaster with maybe the strongest voice ever invented.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the same ballpark as him, you know it.
It's true.
But he's a wonderful guy, great hospitality when we go to Cleveland. And sadly, we're only going to see Tom Hamilton and Jim Rosenhaus and Bix twice.
Twice in Cleveland, twice at our place.
To shortstop, and Wilson. Very quickly, 2 down. Better get this in. Pick your favorite moment in the WBC Best Plays presented by T-Mobile for a chance to win the ultimate all-star fan experience. Restrictions apply. See rules and vote at worldbaseballclassic.com/bestplay. Trey Turner's grand slam has to be on the list.
That was pretty exciting.
You know, Lance Lynn put together a huge performance in pool play against Team Canada. Team USA went up big, but they needed the innings that Lance provided. And talking to people around the ballpark that day, everybody felt like Lance was the perfect guy for that outing, as Alberto grounds it just foul wide of third.
Didn't miss by much, but on the left side of the line. Manaea, with only 69 pitches to this point, has got 2 outs in the 6th. So he stuck around for an extended performance. He pencils out to be their 3rd starter, and it's going to be a very good starting rotation.
A deep starting rotation. We mentioned DeSclafani pitching later on. Logan Webb, Alex Cobb, Ross Stripling, who they got from the Blue Jays, who's a very good 4.
And they have Alex Wood also penciled in, so they've got a lot of options. And the advantage to this staff outside of San Francisco is they throw a lot of ground balls.
Very deep staff, too. There's a line drive to left, and Manaea, rapid fire, gets through the 6th. To the 7th we go already in our finale on NBC Sports Chicago at Camelback Ranch.
Chuck Garfien back at Camelback Ranch, and Brian Shaw on the mound for the White Sox. And I was talking to Brian before the game about how he's using the pitch clock to his advantage. This is not just about shortening games. These guys are using this to their advantage. Pitchers, he says that if a batter gets in the box early, he's just going to wait and wait and wait and throw the baseball until the pitch clock gets down to 2 or 1. And then if he sees the hitter drop his shoulders a bit, he'll quick pitch him when he's not expecting it. So let's watch and see how Brian Shaw uses the pitch clock in this half inning. The pitch clock right now is at about 10.
Yeah, he goes right there very quickly and misses high. But Steve, there's a lot of gamesmanship that can be at play this year.
I think it'll mostly be exhibited by the veterans in the game, the guys who've been around a long time that are trying to use every advantage they can. And Shaw is one of those pitchers that seemingly will throw every day for you. I know Terry Francona in Cleveland used him a lot. We're used to seeing him just about each and every game in a Guardians uniform. Now he's wearing a Sox uniform.
You might see a cutter or two.
Just a couple. Yeah.
That was a check swing, no go for Wisely there. 2 balls and a strike. Brett Wisely in the offseason worked at the athletic wear company Lululemon.
Very nice.
Did you have an off-season job when you were playing, when you were in the minors?
Well, I did a couple of different things. One, I sold prepaid funerals.
Excuse me?
Wasn't the happiest job around, but that was the job.
Somehow that's not a surprise to me. In the air to right, and Wisely leaves the ballpark. 6-1. Little did we know that at bat was going to be a prepaid funeral for the baseball. 6-1. I thought you were going to say phone card. And you said funeral.
Funeral, that was it. Yeah. There's one of those sliders that winds up a souvenir.
Okay, so quick follow-up question.
Yes.
What in the world is that racket like?
Well, it was unique. Let me put it to you that way. I didn't do it very long because it seemed a little depressing, actually.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, you got to go in the house saying, you don't look too healthy today, so let me pass this by you.
That's literally what you did in the offseason?
Yeah.
So what was your pitch to people?
Well, if it's going to happen, you might as well plan ahead. Something along those lines.
So what deal were you offering these people who you were being entirely rude to?
Well, we couldn't go a 2-for-1 deal. That's never any good. So we just went, just get it now because the price of funerals were going up.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
So there was funeral inflation that you were trying to stave off on behalf of your future clients.
Exactly right. Yeah, it wasn't a great job, but you had to pick up a few bucks wherever you could,
How did you select your clientele? Did you go door to door?
They gave you a list of, I guess, people who've been sick recently. I don't know exactly. Yeah, it said, hey, look.
There is a 0% chance this doesn't end up on awful announcing. 0% chance. That was literally what you did in the offseason?
Yeah, that was one of them. I did a few. A welcome wagon was another one.
You were both a prepaid funeral salesman and a welcome wagon representative?
Yeah. You didn't know if you were coming or going. That was the problem.
Come on.
No,
really?
True. Yeah, true story.
Did you do them at the same time?
No, I did them sequentially. I got so depressed with the first one that I figured I would deal with the new arrivals in the second one.
Okay, so you as the welcome wagon person, what value did you provide there?
Just went around and I signed up businesses to be in our little brochure to give to people who moved to town.
Okay.
And even in those days in Arizona, there was a lot of folks moving to town.
Okay.
It was good. Didn't make a whole lot of money, though.
Yeah.
I know that surprises you, but no.
Dare I ask what other jobs, as Remillard with a throw, and that's a good peg for round number one, what other jobs did you have in the offseason? This all is because Brett Wisely worked at Lululemon in the offseason last year.
Much better. I would have rather worked there, but it wasn't around at the time.
It's true.
So, I had to do something because my first major league salary was $13,500. My second was $16,000. It's after 2 years in the big leagues making 16. It didn't go all that far. Yeah.
No, I can imagine not. So Wisely, by the way, when he was working at Lululemon, as the story goes, Daniel Murphy, former second baseman, walked in. And they struck up a friendship, and he actually hit and trained a little bit with Daniel Murphy. I wouldn't imagine in your first off-season job you struck up that same sort of friendship with anybody.
No, but I was saving them numerous dollars down the road.
But they never really, I would say, lived to tell the story.
No, it was something that you did, I guess, to be prepared for the eventual certainty that all of us have to go through toward the end. Or maybe the end of this broadcast, whatever comes first.
That could be coming very soon. So I do want to know, and we've got 2 outs here, so be quick.
Yes.
But what was the beginning of your pitch? Say you knocked on my door, right? Knock, 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 Mr. Benetti.
How you feeling today? Have you had any prolonged colds or fever that you want to discuss? Yeah, no, that's kind of.
That's really how you started?
No.
How did you start?
How you doing today?
Okay, I'm great.
I got something for you.
Yeah, what is that, sir?
Well, it's something that you can help plan your future, even though it comes to an abrupt end.
I hope that you, just in order to look like somebody who was an expert in the field, went to people's doors with a giant bandage on your head.
No, at that point, no, not yet. That was coming down the road a bit.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Matos. That is an unbelievable job for you to have.
Look at all these years later. 8 years you've been here. All these years later, you finally got what I did in the offseason in my early days as a pitcher in the major leagues, might I add.
You were in the majors at that time?
Yeah.
So wait a second. There's a chance that if people were very astute viewers of baseball, that you came to their door and they went and told their friends down the road a couple days later, you know who just tried to tell me that I was going to die soon?
No.
That guy that won the Cy Young.
No, I didn't. I wasn't wearing a giant uniform in those days when I went to the house.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Are we still on the air?
Barely. That was truly your job.
Yeah,
that's
really
amazing.
Was.
But you know, I bring it up in part because that's still happening with minor league baseball guys. You know, you don't know if you're going to make the majors, so you do have to keep a career and you have to do something to make some money in the off season. It's a ground ball to second base, and sadly,
is this over?
This has reached the end.
Thank goodness. Well, I still have a job.
Gonna say by Guaranteed Rate. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/soxcrawl.
Here's one of the mainstays of the Giants, John Brebbia, who last year appeared in 76 games. So he was the Brian Shaw of the San Francisco Giants, and here he is picking up an inning of work. Fastball slider guy.
Brebbia will face Gavin Sheets here, and you heard Chuck talking to Pedro Grifol a little while ago, and Pedro said that's something he likes to work on, is pinch hit opportunities in spring training. So Gavin grabbing a bat cold off the bench here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, one of the most difficult things, and people don't realize that, is being able to come off a major league bench and hit a good major league pitcher, especially either a premier setup man or closer. Because guys are used to getting 4 or 5 at-bats a game, and you can get loose. You have a good idea what the pitchers are trying to do with you, but coming off the bench late and getting the job done is very difficult.
Fly ball pretty deep to left, but Auerbach makes the catch. 1 down. I wonder when you were playing how you approached pinch hitters, if you approached them differently in some way.
Well, I always felt that pinch hitters come off the bench because they are cold. They're looking first ball, fastball. I mean, that's pretty much, they go up there looking first ball, fastball, and try to do something with it. So I would throw anything but. I would throw, you know, to get me over curveball, the softer slider, or something along those lines. Just make sure that they couldn't jump on the first pitch, which is something I felt all of them were looking for.
That's interesting. That I wonder, as the years have gone on with pinch hitting and the art form that it was once and now is a little bit less of, right? Wouldn't you say that when you argue?
Well, I don't think you can afford to have just a guy who can pinch hit. He's got to play a couple different positions if you're going to be in that role. But the real good pinch hitters, especially the left-handers, because the preponderance of closers are right-handed. There's a few teams with left-handed closers, not many. So if you have your setup man and your closer as right-handed pitchers, you want that one guy from the left side that can hit anybody's big fastball. The reason being that guys now come out of that bullpen throwing fire. I mean, a lot of them are anywhere from 97 to 100 miles an hour. If you can't hit a good fastball, you can't be a good pinch hitter. And so that's really the art of knowing how to stay loose, knowing when to really get ready, how to get the adrenaline flowing and come off the bench and try to do something with one of the premier pitchers in the game, which is the guys you face late.
Yaz didn't really like that strike 3 call, 2 down. There it is again.
We'll take another look. I can understand why he didn't like that. It was outside. It started to break, but actually drifted away, and just one of those things that was not strike 3, but he has a seat anyway.
Manaea and Brebbia, very strong team.
Well, Manaea did a terrific job through 6. He gave up just the 3 hits, only 1 run, and Brebbia usually is pretty tough. They felt that they really helped their pen. Tyler Rogers comes in. Scott Alexander is there. Camilo Doval is a hard-throwing closer. I mean, he's really got good stuff. If his control doesn't desert him, he's really tough to hit. And that's the strength of the back end of the bullpen. There is Sean Manaea, who did a fine job today through 6. And the Giants know they got their work cut out for them. Look, San Diego is going to be much improved. I'm not sure if the Dodgers are going to be improved at all, but they're very good anyway. And the loss of Gavin Lux really is a blow to them because, look, they let Trey Turner go, decided maybe they would marshal their resources for a run at Shohei Ohtani. So Turner, much to the delight of Philadelphia Phillies, went east. And what a player he is. We saw that in the World Baseball Classic. I mean, the man hitting 9th, making $300 million, and leading the way in home runs. That's fairly rare.
Yeah, and he'll steal 40, 50 bases.
Whatever bases, except for the 8th inning when Mark DeRosa decided not to run with him, which is somewhat unusual. However, he can steal some bags.
The song you hear is the dirge for the 7th inning. We'll go to the 8th.
Can a billion-dollar stadium bring back the Bears' glory days? In a new original documentary, NBC Sports Chicago and NBC Chicago dive into the bitter battle over the future home of the Chicago Bears. Watch Bear Down and Out now on NBC Chicago stream apps, available on Roku and Amazon Fire TV.
How many of the proper nouns in that promo do you know what they are?
I know. Are you kidding? I know them all. I'm one of the great streamers around.
Okay. That's fantastic. We need to get you one of those hats that little tyke was wearing there. The rainbow hat.
Oh.
Looked almost like a beanie.
I like that.
Some wholesale changes now for the Sox here.
Caleb Freeman pitching. Chris Shaw at first. And Sebastian Rivero catching. And that is the sum total of the changes at this point, with Castillo at third. So maybe not the sum total. 75% of the sum total.
Caleb Freeman out of Texas Tech, a program that has gotten better and better in the Big 12 down there in Lubbock, as that ends up in center field for out number 1. That was Ishmael Mungia, I should say, pardon me.
Okay, well, if you should say it, then say it.
All right, Mungia.
There you go.
Ishmael Mungia. Wait, no, it's Mungia. Third time's a charm.
Are you having this argument with yourself?
I am. I'm talking to myself. I was done talking to you. There's that hat I was talking about.
Now that is a fine cap.
Mungia, the center fielder.
Had I done that a lot more in my youth, I wouldn't have these bandages on my face every spring.
Well, that's... It's become a ritual, though.
I know.
You know.
Yeah.
We do appreciate always when you walk in here looking like 1/100th of Tutankhamun.
Well, my doctor, who is a wonderful, both a dermatologist and a Mohs surgeon, always finds something late.
If you'll take a look.
You take a look, it's up here. Yeah.
Just in case you missed it.
Bring that with you for the year, because for the weather reports, it's going to be essential this year.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. Yeah. You can point at the colors behind you. There's yellow up there. There's the orange. What would you call that?
Puce.
Okay. I'll buy it. Rhubarb, maybe?
Could be.
Oh, you can't see it.
No.
I'm told.
You can't.
What about this? All right, you do it. No, it's not a weapon.
Beat you with this.
Great. When did their partnership end? 8th inning, after he just kept rapping Jason over the head with the pointer.
Here it is.
They've come back on camera,
yes.
So maybe just in case you want to take a swat at me.
Here, no, I can't. I can't have evidentiary whatevers. So here. Yes, right there.
Yep, that's the logo.
That's where we're going to be when we start doing the weather during the season.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important.
Thank you for that back. I was concerned that it was going to go south. I was standing near the backfields, and they're the White Sox pregame defensive drills and everything like that today, and just the organization of it. I think we should talk about it coming back, because there is not a wasted second right now for the White Sox coaching staff. If I make it back, we'll have that conversation. Put that raffle presented by Wintrust for your chance to win the opening day guaranteed jackpot of at least $50,000. Jackpot will keep building through the home opener on April the 3rd. So get your raffle tickets at whitesox.com/soxsplit. It's valid for Illinois residents 18 and over.
Little over 5,000 here today on a gorgeous day for baseball. Sox on the short end of this one as the Giants have used the long ball to their advantage.
The pitcher is
Miguel Majure. Maybe.
I believe it's pronounced Yahoo-Ray.
Hooray?
Yahoo-Ray.
For you. Hooray.
Thank you for that. Ford Proctor into the ball game as Gonzalez flies out to center, and there's one gone.
Second baseman, number 81, Zach Remillard.
Zach Remillard, the new batter. Bill Brophy is confirming my pronunciation.
That is?
Yeah, Yahoo-Ray.
Well, that's why I defer to you. I lean on your expertise linguistically.
It took me a couple tries at Munguia, but I got it right.
That's a hard one.
I was looking right at the pronunciation guide, and it was G-H-E-E in the middle. It's Munguia. My apologies. Here's Remillard. Home opener's coming soon. Sox will take on the Giants. WhiteSox.com/tickets. If you'd like to join us for that home opening series against the Giants for the 3rd, 5th, and 6th at Guaranteed Rate Field.
I wonder, and this would be a question for Chris Kamka, when was the last time, if ever, the Sox opened up against the San Francisco Giants in Chicago? Maybe never?
Meaning the home opener against the Giants?
Yes.
I would have to imagine never.
I would think so.
Could be the first time in the history of the world.
This is uncharted territory.
Was that part of your pitch to the people door to door too?
That's exactly right. Uncharted.
2-2 to Remillard. It's grounded foul, third base side. What do you make of the AL Central?
Well, I think you have to give Cleveland the inside track because they have a couple of things that the other teams don't at this point, and that includes the loss of Liam Hendricks. I mean, with Emmanuel Clase at the back end for the Guardians, they've got a big advantage.
2 down. The strikeout there of Remillard.
Center fielder, number 12.
I don't see the AL Central for a while.
No. And there's the 4 with Houston, then San Francisco, and then we head to Pittsburgh.
We'll see O'Neill Cruz among other talented young Pirates.
I made a classic mistake in Pittsburgh.
What's that?
During the World Series, went to a restaurant called Poli's, which was a terrific restaurant, probably still there. And I went with my folks. I invited them. They came, and the waitress was giving me a hard time because she knew that I was with Baltimore and these were my parents. And she said, you know, we're going to beat you. We were up 3-1 at the time. And so it was all good-natured fun. And then at the end, she said, would you sign the menu for me? And I said, absolutely. And I signed it. 1979 world champion Baltimore Orioles.
No, you didn't.
I did. And we were up 3-1, and we lost the series 4-3.
No.
An ignominious defeat.
Why would you do something like that?
I was tempting the fates, and look what happened. It came and bit me in the butt.
More like the forehead.
It was later on.
Maybe the fates caused that too.
It could very well be. Yeah, that was
wow.
Bad strategically.
In the air, right center field to the wall, and Romy Gonzalez gets it up and out for a solo home run. Zavala went deep in the 3rd. Romy here in the 8th. (6-2) the Sox trailing the Giants.
Right fielder, number 41, Jake Burrowstead.
Opposite field on a high fastball, and Romy puts a charge into it. It's not easy to go opposite field. It's probably 400 feet the other direction, and It gets the Sox within 4.
Line to left. Base hit for Jake Marisnick, and now he's going to go for 2, and he's in there easily. It's a double for Marisnick.
Your baseman, number 83, Moises Castillo.
Home run and now a double. This ball is inside, and Jake turns on it and easily runs it into a 2-base hit.
So here is Moises Castillo, he mentioned was in at 3rd. Strike to Castillo. You were talking about the AL Central.
Yeah, I think, look, I think Minnesota's going to have a pretty decent team. I think that their pitching, depending on how effective it's going to be, is determined if they stay in the race or not. They got Correa back. So it's a decent team. I think there's going to be 3 teams there, quite obviously. Detroit not quite ready yet. Kansas City will be a little bit better, but probably not ready for prime time just yet. And there's nothing that says that the Sox cannot beat the Guardians. It has to do with the manipulation of that bullpen at the back end. I think until Liam gets back, that will be the determining factor in just how successful the Sox are going to be this year. But looking at their lineup, I think they're going to score a lot of runs. I like the lineup top to bottom. I think there's some balance this year from the left side, bringing in Benintendi. And if Yoan Moncada can play anything like he did in the World Baseball Classic, where he was right on just about everything, you would think that from the left side, the Sox are going to be okay. I know Yasmani Grandal has had a nice spring, and he also can give you a left-handed bat, assuming the legs are going to be in good shape. And with that, once again, it's going to be a very exciting season.
Nice 0-2 swing by Castillo, and the Sox get another run. He's back to first. And Oscar Colas, who's on deck getting ready to pinch hit, as Chuck foreshadowed earlier. This is a 6-3 ball game.
Oscar Colas.
This is a breaking ball that probably is not quite as low as he would have wanted it. Nice piece of hitting, and the Sox are roaring back late.
Chuck, what do you have?
For the last 5 minutes before this at bat, Oscar was on the bench right near Grifol, holding on to that bat. He wanted in this game, and now he's in it.
Love to see that, Chuck. I mean, he wants to play, and he wants to be in every game. And I also like, Steve, that Pedro is listening to him.
Well, I think he gives the Sox something they've needed for quite some time, which is some power from the left side. He goes and hit the ball all over, and the only question was, when you look at those numbers, which are robust for the minor leagues, the question was, the other aspects of the game not hitting related, how would he adjust to that? Base running, defense, and so far he's been pretty good at just about everything.
Breaking ball low and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. That was a good break.
He's going to see a whole lot of those. I mean, that's one of the things that they're going to test him on. Can he, number 1, occasionally hit those, or 2, in lieu of hitting those, can he lay off those? Because for young hitters especially, veteran major league pitchers are going to try to get him out of the strike zone as much as they can.
Pitch clock down to 4, down to 2, down to 1, and he just did get it off. Maybe by design, maybe not, as it's 1 and 2. So how would you expect Oscar to respond to that, considering what we've seen so far?
Well, he's going to look at those, and look, he wants to hit. He doesn't want to go up there to walk. He wants to hit. We'll see how patient he can be, and it's not easy for a young hitter, especially one who hasn't had extensive work at AAA.
Chris Kampka reports first ever Sox home opener against a National League team.
There you go.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. He did go to the hook. We'll go to the 9th. Sox on the comeback trail. Bring your family to a White Sox game with a family pack presented by ExxonMobil. Starting at $19, you'll get 1 ticket, 1 hot dog, 1 drink, and 1 bag of chips to select games. For tickets, go to whitesox.com/family. Nice to see families at the ballpark enjoying the berm. Random Mariners youngster just walking on by. Maybe saw Julio Rodriguez on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
He's some player.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's going to be here for a long time and do it very well. Seattle's got themselves a very good one. They're going to be tough this year.
They will be. We will be in Seattle in mid-June. That AL West, that might be the toughest it's been in a long time, top to bottom.
Well, you know Texas is going to be much improved. Houston is just a wonderful team, top to bottom. They don't have any weaknesses that we can see at this point. Yeah, I think it's going to be really tough.
Ford Proctor gives it a ride to center field. Romy Gonzalez is there for out number 1. Sun sometimes provides some resistance. Toughest division in baseball is what?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, the West should be a whole lot tougher. If the Angels have anything with those 3 guys, if Rendon comes back and you bring back obviously Ohtani and Trout to a team that looks like they're going to be better, I mean, that division becomes as tough as any of them around.
I agree with that. The American League East probably has to be on the list too, right?
They're very good.
Wonder what Baltimore is going to be like this year. I mean, they made such a surge and corner turn last year. There's the AL West standings from last season. Oakland, obviously, you know, the bottom of that division.
I think overall that National League East is really a tough division. I mean, Philadelphia is going to be loaded. They're going to be loaded before they get Bryce Harper back.
Bloop to left, and that falls. A base hit for Wisely, who homered back in the 7th.
But you look at the Mets, even with Diaz out, I mean, that's a big loss for them because they have to deal with the same thing the Sox are dealing with, which is who you're going to put at the back end to replace one of the best closers in baseball, as Diaz was. And so you figure Atlanta's got to be as good, possibly a little bit better. The East is tough, very tough in the National League.
It's going to be very interesting to see which division. I ask this in part because it's going to affect playoff fortunes more. You're going to play more games against other divisions, so that toughest division moniker is going to have more to say about the playoff picture than it ever has before.
No, I like the fact it's a balanced schedule. I think from a fan standpoint, they're going to get to see the greatest players in the other league on an every other year basis, where before it was every 6 years. You might not get too many shots seeing Shohei Ohtani or Mike Trout in a schedule the way it was before, but now you'll see him every other year.
Yeah, if you're an Arizona Diamondbacks fan or a Brewers fan, you're only seeing those guys once every 6 years, you're saying. Change of scenery too. I think more fans. Oh, there's a throw to first, and this should be a pickoff to second base, and Wisely is out.
Very nice pickoff move
by Andrew Perez.
We'll take another look. He's looking at him. And that was just a straight steal where he wasn't concerned at all what Perez was doing and got hung out to dry.
It is going to be infinitely interesting to see which teams steal most and which teams don't want to steal this year, because everybody's doing the calculus in their own way of how valuable stolen bases are with the new rules.
No, I think we're going to see different things than we saw in spring training. I think teams are going to test the new rules and see exactly how they apply to their teams. Look, you still want to hit a 3-run homer, but odds are overwhelming against really good pitchers. Like 1 or 2 runs are going to win these games, and in those games against the Scherzers of the world, the Verlanders of the world, those are games where a stolen base and a run scored could wind up winning the baseball game.
Yeah, it might be all you need. It might be exactly what you need. I just wonder if home runs are going to be even slightly less valuable because of the stolen bases, because of the pitch timer. We'll see how it all shakes out. I'm going to be fascinated to see once the season's over what the numbers look like on what was valuable and what wasn't. 2 strikes on Auerbach, who made his Double-A debut last year. He was with the Richmond Flying Squirrels.
I like him. Like the Sod Poodles, Flying Squirrels. What other good ones are there?
The El Paso Chihuahuas. The Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs.
Well, I like that a lot.
Have you ever met an iron pig?
Not yet. Tough to get bacon from them.
It's true. Well, you know, the casting sort of saves their bacon.
What's the Savannah team?
They're the Bananas. They used to be the Sand Gnats. Now they're the Bananas. One more edible than the other. 1-2 upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You saw the Giants' struggles defensively at points.
Yeah.
We just saw Chris Kamka providing that to us, and we'll see if they do get better defensively.
Well, it's especially important to that team because they do have so many sinker ball pitchers, and if you have guys that are going to pitch to contact, as they say, you know, put the ball in play, you're not going to have those big strikeout guys. But if you're throwing sinkers, you're going to get a lot of ground balls. If you can field them, your team's going to be in good shape. If you have any problems with your inner defense and you're not turning double plays and not fielding ground balls, then that's going to be a problem for them.
Long at bat here. This is pitch number 9 coming to Auerbach. On the back of his jersey, that is, depending on the tint of your TV, it's orange Auerbach, not red.
Ooh, a twist of a phrase. Very nice.
Yeah. It's the 9th inning. All the good stuff happened when we were talking about your vocational career. Tough to properly use the phrase "you're dead to me" in that line of work.
That is true.
Giants put up 3 runs on a Will Wilson home run in the 3rd, then 2 more in the 4th. RBI single for Casey Schmidt. 3-2 now. Payoff coming. Broken bat pop-up, first base side, and Perez skates over to make the catch. The pickoff leaves nobody on for the Giants. Sox will try to come back and win here in the bottom.
Chuck Garfien back in sunny Glendale, Arizona. The White Sox and Giants have reached the bottom of the 9th inning in our final spring training broadcast of the season. And Jason and Steve, it is also my final day covering the team here at spring training. I am heading back to Chicago, heading back to the studio for White Sox pre and post game live with Ozzie Guillen, Frank Thomas, Gordon Beckham, Scott Podsednik will all join me throughout the season. I just wanted to say thank you for letting me be a part of your preseason party in the broadcast, and it's been a blast as usual. You guys are in rare form. You guys are in rare mid-season form, and it's been a pleasure to be a part of it here in Arizona with you guys.
You're the best, Chuck. We love having you here. Your reporting is phenomenal. The podcast is phenomenal, and you're the best in the business for my money. So we're glad to have you here.
And I'm glad you had a good spring and really enjoyed it down here. It wasn't quite as warm as past springs, but all things considered, it was a good spring. And we urge you to travel safely. Take care of Shuggy. That is the Hound, I believe.
Yes, over the next 3 days, if you think about me, think of Albuquerque, New Mexico, Amarillo, Texas, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and all points in between Chicago and Phoenix.
Big Texan Steakhouse. Don't pass that up.
Chuck's talking like he's a Johnny Cash song.
Yeah. Well,
I've been everywhere.
He's heading on the road.
We made it through all of that with full sincerity. You didn't. There was no snarky comment about Chuck because
Chuck's
he's
our
wonderful.
Guy. He is our guy.
He's
and
phenomenal.
He's done a great job this spring. We love to have him on the broadcast, but he is so entertaining on the pre and post that, you know, we can't spread him too thin. There's only so much of Chuck to go around.
I would like to be less entertaining on the shows this year, actually.
Oh, really? You're going for less entertaining?
I wouldn't. Well, it's always going to be entertaining, but let's just dial down my entertainment value a little bit this year.
You're trying to make less news, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be about a great White Sox season. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're all very hopeful, but we do really enjoy having you here. We enjoy how nice and clean you keep your lair down there. I mean, it is spotless.
I do not.
It's like a John Steinbeck novel that you're living in down there. It's like a dust bowl.
That is a great point. I'm living the grapes of wrath.
You are.
Yes. I never thought this lair could be so poetic, and yet you nailed it right there, Jason Benetti.
We could, you know, if it's a little unkempt, so we could call it the Chuck Wagon.
Oh, yikes.
No, but thank you for all your kind words, Chuck. We're glad to all be together as a team and have a good time watching White Sox baseball and get everybody ready for the season.
We'll do that.
Oh, we absolutely will. That's a breaking ball dropped in for strike 3 and 2 down here in the 9th. Your final thoughts on spring training as we walk toward it, out number 54?
Well, it seems like just about every spring, it's kind of unusual, and this with the World Baseball Classic was really unusual because it's tough to evaluate any of these teams because none of the teams were together. Everybody had multiple players at the World Baseball Classic, and now they're reuniting late in the spring. We don't really know what most of these teams are going to look like when they all get together, but we do know that the one goal that you have is to make sure that everybody is healthy during the spring, and I think
I can see it in your face when you're talking about opening day.
Yeah, it's to me it's always been something special because you come out of spring training with high hopes, depending on what your team looks like or what your expectations are. Most teams have pretty good expectations. I think for the Sox, unlike some other teams, I mean, they have a realistic approach to this season and winning a division championship and going to the playoffs. I don't think that's too far-fetched. Some other teams might be a bit optimistic, but I don't think for the Sox. I think they're a pretty confident group.
Well, there's a combination of efficient work and joy to be at the ballpark that we've seen on the fields this year in spring training, and we will see as you say, the championship season begins very soon. Before we pack up and head out, your final thoughts on spring training on today and on where the White Sox are going, Steve.
Well, I think it's a confident group. I really believe that these guys feel that they can not only win the division, but they can go a little further in the playoffs than they've gone in recent vintage. But this team has a lot of talent. And the question, and the one question that everybody will be asking, and this is for Pedro and his staff, how do you deal with the back end of the bullpen trying to save some games? If they can figure that out, I think this team is good enough to beat anybody. We'll just have to see. You can talk about it, but you got to get it done on the field. And I personally, and I know you are too, we're ready to go.
It's great sharing baseball with you.
Travel safely.
You too.
And we'll see you down the road.
In lovely Houston.
In lovely Houston.
The opener of the season in a week. Our opener in 8 days from down in Texas. He's Steve Stone. I'm Jason Benetti. Chris Withers, Andrew Blaustein, Chris Kampka, our entire crew. Bill Brophy, Michelle Godwin, our wonderful people here in Arizona. We will miss them until next year. Our fantastic crew. We love bringing you these games. Sox and Giants close out our season. See you soon.